Have I done that one? Machine Strike Expert? I haven't, right? Because it's blue. The one that I just did is green now. Right, so that's where the last expert one is. There's a part of me that wants to go do it, but I'll put it off for now. Maybe now would be a good time for me to go back to Gemini? I think so. Let's. Tanath Sky Climber. Oh. Probably time for an outfit change too. It's been a while. Awesome Artificer. It's actually a legendary outfit. Oh, I think with the new patch, they made it so that you can change the look of your armor without changing the stats of the armor. This one has pretty good stats, besides for the frost. Okay, I'll wear it. Oh, the slots are locked. Yeah. Okay.
I thought I felt the snow chill.
Yeah, it's a little bit chilly, isn't it? But, hopefully we'll be okay. Okay, Gaia. I'm back. Oh, before that, Erend. Can you find the camp for me?
Always in a hurry, aren't you?
What's wrong with your shoulder?
Yeah, it hurts a little. Yeah, maybe a lot.
What'd you do?
Well, I tried to arm wrestle with Kotallo.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't such a great
The
idea.
machine arm?
I was just curious to see if that new arm of his was as strong as it looked. Turns out it really is.
Man versus machine. Who do you think will win?
I found out more about the Sons of Prometheus. They definitely have a base. It's a place called First Forge. We just have to find it.
First Forge? All right, that's it then. I know where that is.
You found one of them? A Sons of Prometheus operative?
He was posing as a Delver, but my focus locked onto his. When he saw me coming, he ran. I caught up with him, and he tried to crush his focus. But there was still data on it. A bunch of locations and coordinates. One of them was called First Forge. I didn't know what it meant till now.
Nice job.
You know me. Ancient tech expert.
Send me those coordinates, okay?
Now hold on, Aloy. I'm coming with you. Sarah's the last of a line of killers that murdered Ursa. And I need to be there when she goes down.
Of course. Send me the location and I'll call you when I'm close.
All right then.
I'll even do it while wearing the Oseram armor. How about that?
Remember to send me the coordinates to Sarah's base. I'll let you know when I'm close by.
I'm sending him now. I won't let you down.
I know.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
Just out of curiosity, where is First Forge? Here? Oh, it's a bit hidden. We've been here already. This campfire? Yeah, this is the one that we came down where we went down to the underwater place. Okay, we'll do that later on then. Alva, how are you doing?
Looks like you've been busy.
I could say the same. Anything new around here?
Kotallo showed me the schematics for his new arm. I recall reading about robotic limbs within the Legacy, but I never thought I'd see one in action. Technology like that would be treasured back home. Think of what it could do for injured workers or soldiers. But knowing the Imperial family, they would use it for different purposes. Their own.
Replacing body parts as they grow older. Like the Zeniths.
Exactly.
I'm still not sure if that's really such an unethical thing. If we have the technology to become immortal, is that a bad thing? Okay, the Zeniths are bad people, and they happen to be immortal. But I feel like these two concepts are separate, right?
I better leave you to your studies.
There really is a lot to go through, isn't there?
But if you think about it in terms of like the themes of Horizon, about like climate change and protecting the earth and all that, then the cycle of life, in terms of the cycle of life, being immortal is definitely stopping that. It's quite literally not natural. Not that natural itself is like, you know, a descriptor for all things that are good, but it's literally not natural.
Welcome back.
What's going on here? Oh, you know what? Last time I came back, I don't think I visited my own room. Can I do that after I talk to you, Gaia? Hey, we've got 4 survey drones.
There. Let's see what we got.
These wallpapers always take a while. Damn it, it would have been so satisfying if we had 10. But I'm not sure where the last one is.
An excellent choice.
This is Isle of Spires. Yeah, that's the last one that we just got, I think. And then I think this one? Oh my god, I have 300 rocks. That's a lot of rocks. I'll just do some stuff while you're loading. This one's in the forests. Really peaceful. But we can't even talk to Gaia while having the background on. It's just for us to look at for a little bit.
An excellent choice.
Very cold. Yup. Alright. Gaia.
Aloy, I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct, but the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths.
It's too long.
2 cores. 2 overrides. What if the merge were carried out by 2 clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of 2 operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
Oh my god.
Okay. Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the zeniths.
Good. As long as Erend can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Okay.
Mentally? I thought that the override and taking over Hephaestus is really more dependent on Gaia, so the fact that having 2 operators with Omega clearance suddenly reduces the time is... I'm not sure how that works out logistically, but sure. If that's what Gaia says, I'll listen to her.
Aloy, I believe Varl is still waiting for you, outside Beta's room.
I know. I just wanted to talk about something else first.
As you wish.
How's Alva settling in?
As soon as she arrived, Alva was eager to study the data in the archive. A particular file soon caught her attention. Information about a machine assistant devoted to keeping living spaces neat and orderly. I informed her that once I am empowered with the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to design such a machine.
I'm sure she'll like that.
The possibilities. Endless, endless possibilities.
So our plan to capture Hephaestus. Let's go over it again.
As you wish. Thanks to Beta's test, we now know that Hephaestus will not respond to your alpha clearance.
Which is why I got Ted Farrow's Omega clearance.
Correct. While you were gone, Beta constructed the transport rig and pulse generators.
Good job.
When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
Because the work will be split between you and Beta, it will take approximately 4.5 hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan.
But the biggest weakness in this plan is that there's no way the Zeniths don't know we're gonna try to do this. They know exactly what we can do in this situation. Our technology is just so infinitely worse than theirs, so they can probably predict that we're gonna try to get Hephaestus and get it back to GAIA and all that.
The missing subordinate functions. What can you tell me about them?
Artemis rewilded the Earth with a variety of animal species. Eleuthia was responsible for gestating, nurturing, and acculturating a new generation of human beings. Apollo was tasked with preserving, organizing, and disseminating vast archives of human knowledge and cultural achievements. Unfortunately, all archived Apollo data was purged on the 2nd of February, 2066, by order of Ted Farrow.
Ted. Guess he got what he deserved, in the end.
Yes. An igneous conclusion to his pathological narcissism, impulsive tendencies, and instability.
All 3 of the missing functions have already served their purpose, or were prevented from doing so. Do you still need them?
Restoring their remaining elements would increase my heuristic processing density, empowering my overall function. Unfortunately, as we now know they are in the possession of Far Zenith, attaining them in the short term is very likely impossible.
I guess our best shot at recovering them is by taking over the Zenith base. But we'll need Hephaestus and a bunch of combat machines to do that.
Correct.
And a way to go through the shield as well. That's exciting to think about though, if we can actually get a complete GAIA again, especially Apollo. Wow, that would really be something.
So I, found Thebes. What do you think Ted would have done if his life extension treatments had worked?
It seems he convinced himself it was his duty to guide future humans. Given the tribal nature of new humans, and his ability to use Omega clearance on the terraforming system, I imagine he would have convinced one or more tribes to worship him as their patriarchal deity.
Okay. Yep, glad that didn't happen.
I was gonna say, narcissism as a way to describe Ted Farrow doesn't even cover it. That's an insult to narcissists, really. There's something wrong with him. Something very, very wrong.
Aside from Gaia Prime and Thebes, there was one other underground facility that was sealed before the Pharaoh Plague reached it. Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn staff and their families went to live out their lives. Do you know what happened to it?
Elysium was designed to provide life support for 100 years. My data indicates the facility went offline well before then.
Did the Pharaoh Plague find them?
Unknown. My connection to the facility was abruptly severed.
Sounds like it might be like DLC plot point or something. Okay, they're not very definitive about it. So that was for 100 years, just to make sure the remaining people, the Alpha Primes and their families, have a nice end of life, basically. But Ted Pharaoh's thing was like for 1,000 years. I mean, it was still running by the time we got there too, what the hell?
I'll be on my way.
I wish you safe travels.
I wonder how conscious Ted was though by the time of us blowing him up. I kind of wish he was conscious fully. That whole 1,000 years, just to suffer. Might be asking for a little bit too much though.
There it is. Is this a piece from the bulwark? Kotallo must have brought this with him as a trophy. I may have fired the cannon, but he really put Dakota in his place.
I can't even see it. Stop highlighting it.
One of Studius Fuadis's many scrolls. It was a pain getting him to Barren Light. Still, he didn't deserve to be run down by Regalla's riders.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he wasn't. He didn't deserve that.
Talana must have left this for me on her way back east.
Oh!
I wish she could have stayed. But I know Meridian and the Lodge need her.
A flower for me? I'm gonna get the wrong idea, Talana.
This must be from the Cool Route. Between the Rockbreaker and the Slitherfang, Regalla really wrecked the arena. And I have a feeling she won't stop trying until Hikaru's dead.
I wonder.
I hate it when they name stuff like that. Tremor Tusk Tusk, Slither Fang Fang. It feels so dysfunctional. Was that the flower that Talana was holding when I saw her last? I thought Amadis gave her that. No. Guess it was for me. Slither Fang Fang. Sure.
Beta's so frustrating. I don't get how she can be so negative all the time. I mean, we're clones of the same woman, and yet she couldn't be more different from Elizabeth.
But that way of thinking I feel like is kind of unhealthy too. It's not like you're the same as Elizabeth either. But I feel like Aloy does want to be the same as her. But you don't need to be. You're your own person. You're both, like all three of you. You're not the same. You start from the same base. You might have the same looks and stuff. And maybe even other genetic dispositions, but you're not the exact same. Wasn't there like a dagger I could look at? No? It's getting really crowded in here. Flower. Oh guys, not time for singing anymore. Beta? How is she doing? She's in bad shape? Mentally? Am I in the right place?
Aloy. I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Wait, why didn't she want to go again? Was there a reason?
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you.
Is she scared?
Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone, in a cell again. Their slave. Forever. Varl and I will be at Gemini too. I'll protect you. As soon as we get Hephaestus, we'll come straight back here. The Zeniths aren't going to find us. You don't have to be afraid. No! You can't protect me. Nothing can protect me from them. I told you from the beginning we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand!
I don't.
You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference? What's my defect?
No, 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 no. Being an outcast is not the same as a slave. You had it rough.
Beta, you don't have a defect. Beta, look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving.
What?
The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did it feel like? It was like having a strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. When it looks impossible, look deeper. And then fight like you can win.
Oh.
You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You said you'd try to protect me. I believe you. But you have to promise me one thing. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand?
Oh my god.
Okay. Promise? I promise. I could use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible. I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
Finally.
Aloy, whenever you're ready, come speak to me and I'll ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
So we do get a bit of a break here. It's weird how that works, huh? The key to... Finally, we got a scene between Aloy and Beta where they're on, they're starting to understand each other. The key to human connection is to really be willing to be vulnerable. If you put up a guard around you, most people are not gonna bother to they're gonna put up their own guards. They're not gonna try to like reach out and try to coax you out of your shell or whatever. But the moment you show that you're weak and vulnerable and human, then people can understand that as well. Yeah, I don't think being an outcast is remotely the same as being Far Zenith's slave, born for the purpose of doing this whole thing too.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
I am. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
Nobody ever comforted her. Like when she was upset, when she was sad, when she was scared. All she ever had was Tilda for like that one little bit of time, and then she was abandoned as well.
So how goes studying up on the merge?
GAIA and I have added a function that will display a holographic interface to visualize the data stream from Hephaestus. It should make expunging its malicious code a little more efficient.
That's great. Whatever we can do to cut down the merge time is going to increase our chance of success. Good work.
I'll continue to search for other ways to speed up the process. But whenever you're ready, I am too.
Oh my god, I want to hug her. Give her a hug. Yeah, give her some praise. I feel like she's the kind of girl who would work well with praise. This is all updated?
So you know about the extinction signal?
It was speculation, but the only logical conclusion why GAIA suddenly self-destructed after operating efficiently for centuries. GAIA would have only undertaken such a desperate course of action if it had detected a threat to life on Earth that was more dangerous than ceasing function altogether. I should have realized that she would also order the recreation of Elizabeth Sobek to rebuild her.
Her plan almost failed. If I hadn't stumbled upon a focus as a kid, things would have been a lot different.
It just happened to be you too, out of all the people, to find the focus. This seems the same as before though, but it's marked as a new thing.
You said the Zenith's colony in the Sirius system was destroyed. What happened?
All I was ever told was that a natural disaster forced them to leave Sirius. I've speculated that it was an extrasolar object or a cataclysmic seismic event. Or maybe even an abnormally violent coronal mass ejection from Sirius A.
Did the Zeniths tell you any details? Something that might narrow it down?
They said the only thing that mattered was that they survived. First Earth, 1,000 years ago, and then Sirius.
Guess they survived old age too.
I'm curious about what really happened though, because we know they're immortal. Forcing immortals to leave their home that they've established for 1,000 years, that's gotta be some cataclysmic event.
You said you spent years studying in a training interface. Was this archive you mentioned part of that?
But only the parts I was permitted to access. Aristotle and Aspasia, the avatars of the archive, would assign me learning modules and evaluate my progress.
Wait, those names. They were designed to be the virtual guides for the Apollo database.
I remember this. We talked about this before.
Ted Faro purged it.
The Zeniths have a copy.
So it still exists. And you got to learn from it.
Only what was deemed pertinent to the mission. If I requested information outside of my parameters, my tutors would deny it.
To have all that knowledge just out of reach must have been frustrating.
A little.
Alva's joined us. Have you two had a chance to talk?
She told me she's not allowed to access a lot of the data her people have. Similar to the restrictions I had in my training interface. I told her that if we succeed at GEMINI, then once we return, I'll help her search for more ways to help her family. Even though GAIA will fix the biosphere, it'll take time for farmlands to fully recover. So, I want to help speed things up.
How so?
Bioengineering of more resilient plant strains, novel crop production methods, equipment upgrades. Something that might help in the short term.
I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
She's a gentle girl at heart, wanting to help people already. Yeah, I feel like of everybody here, she might get along the best with Alva. Alva's well, to put it frankly, nerdy. Just like her. Just like me.
So when you talk to the others, are you calling them over the focus?
No, they'll come down here to visit. Like Erend. He's funny. But loud. I wish I could show him the media portal and the data channel. I think he would like the sports hollows. There was one where two people would criticize each other before wrestling to see who was stronger. It was bizarre and violent, but I think Erend would enjoy it.
Yeah, you're right. I bet he would.
Good, good.
So when you talk to the others,
that's
are you
it.
calling them over?
No, I wish I could. I think there was criticize. It was.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, good, good, good.
Talk to you later, Beta.
Bye, Aloy.
Oh. Does she normally even say my name when she talks to me? That felt so nice to hear just now. Just bye, Aloy. You know what they say? The sound of your own name is the sweetest sound that you could... How does it go again? You know what I'm trying to say. That Dale Carnegie quote.
Punch, punch, punch.
Hey, I thought I'd check in before leaving for Gemini.
Are you sure we shouldn't be checking up on you? Whatever went on between you and Beta sounded intense. Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose every time Mercer and I fought.
I think we'll be fine from now on.
I'm glad to hear it.
And part of why we were just not on the same wavelength before was because we weren't really being honest about how we felt, right? Fighting is really just about being honest because we're so angry, we just say what we're really thinking, and then the other party's like, oh, okay, so that's what you were thinking, and then that's when we start making connections.
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths. So, no more reading.
It wasn't that bad. Not really. Besides, going through all that data helped me realize something. You know, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Pharaoh machines so Gaia could be built, they were fighting a battle that couldn't be won. Not with all the weapons in the world. I think most of them realized that, whether anyone said it or not. They still did it, though. They bought time for all the eggheads working to save the future. Our future. As long as I can do that for you, I'll consider myself a success.
Thank you, Erend. I'm glad you're with me.
Yeah, okay, enough. I'm gonna get emotional.
I hope we'll still have some downtime after Gemini. Because, I mean, obviously I haven't finished everything yet.
Anybody take you up on that ale you brought yet?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking a break means. And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff after that victory party in Meridian.
What about Kotallo?
Now there's a man that can hold his liquor. Pretty sure we downed half a keg. We had a good chat, I think.
Hey, you guys seem like you'd get along. You know what? Let's do some strike.
I see you've got strike set up. Mind if I have a go at it?
Really? Sure. Let's do it.
Can I choose levels and all that? What are you? Random board. Beginner difficulty. Oh, you're done. Erend, you're done.
Here goes nothing.
I just want to see your dialogue, really. Because I'm sure there's going to be something special here. Oh, look at those candles. Beginner board? Freaking, my Dreadwing's going to tear you apart. Your things don't look that beginner, do they? You've got 5 pieces! Oh, it turned... What the hell? Did it just turn me around? Something just turned me around. Was it the Dreadwing? Wait, do I turn my own stuff around? All pieces within attack range rotate 180 degrees, including myself. Oh, okay. Something to be wary about then. Okay, Plowhorn, Charger, Longleg, Plowhorn, 2 VP everything. This is gonna be freaking cakewalk. Or it should be. It should be.
Okay, I could do this.
If I had a ram thingy here,
Let's see what you got.
that'd be so good. Swoop. Yeah, it's beginner. I don't have to be that worried about stuff like being overly aggressive and whatnot. It's fine. Oh, come on, buddy.
Off the board they go.
There you go.
All yours.
Bye-bye.
And it's out.
Should I? Leave him alone. Oh, I'm sorry, Erend. I'm at least
that's a
expert level now, so this
Pretty
is...
big lead you got there, huh?
Yeah, it's a sizable lead. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll go easy on you.
What should I do?
Don't you worry, Erend.
Your turn.
I won't brag too hard. Just a little.
Yep, you win.
So that's it then. It's just a random board that's beginner level. I can't imagine they won't let me select the difficulty though, but that's it, really?
That was fun.
Okay, well, bye, I guess.
I should go.
That same here. I got a date with a cauldron to prepare for.
I'm guessing later on, maybe the difficulty will change. Oh! A quest! Oh, they really don't want me to do Gemini, do they?
Aloy, everything okay with you and Beta? It sounded like you guys had a, lively conversation.
We just had a lot to talk about.
Does this mean she's coming with us to Gemini?
It does. I hope you're ready to rein in the most stubborn AI of all time.
That's what all this was for, wasn't it?
Hephaestus won't go down quietly.
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost its way. We are fighting for our survival. I can always call upon the goddess if you're nervous.
Funny.
Calling an AI, a sentient AI, a program? This is what got you into trouble with Zoe when you called the plowhorn a plowhorn instead of being, you know, a land god.
Any last findings you want to share before leaving?
Not really. Though I've reached a decision.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora, spread what I've learned.
You think they'll listen to you?
In time, I believe so.
If anyone can make it happen, it's you, Varl.
Maybe not everyone will listen, but some people will. At least one person will, I think. All we need are those people, and then it'll spread slowly. It's great that we have people from every tribe here. So, if all these people go back to their own tribes later on, then the knowledge will really spread fast.
What will you and Zoe do if you go back to the Embrace?
I hope she'll come with me. At least for a while. And I'll go with her to Plainsong too. She'll probably want to talk to her people about all this as well. We'll figure it out.
I know you will.
Yeah, she hasn't been back in a while. Do they wonder what happened to her?
How does everyone seem to you?
Anxious, but ready. I heard Kotallo ask for Alva's help with his pulse generator. And I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques, just in case.
I hope they aren't needed.
Like I said, just in case.
There's no way it's gonna go down smoothly at Gemini. I'm sorry.
I hope firing off those pulse generators will be enough to distract the Zeniths.
It'll work. It has to.
Always optimistic, huh?
Nah, just stubborn. It's a good quality to have when dealing with you.
Yeah, right.
Feel like there's gotta have been other instances where the Zeniths detected me already, when we try to get the meter, Poseidon, and all that, but they just choose not to come. There's no way! Every single time it went so smoothly, without seeing them. That's gotta be on purpose.
You were right, you know, about keeping Rost's memories buried. I guess part of me thought he was holding me back, because he wanted me to be a Nora. but the truth is he gave me a lot. And I took him for granted.
He was a good man. He raised you well.
I'm glad you're coming with me, Varl.
Sure there's no urge to run off alone in there somewhere?
No more running.
I'll just walk away alone. Rost. Oh, if we didn't have Rost, maybe the world would be gone already. Would have been gone when we had the problem with Hades.
Hey, we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. You good with the plan?
I've already got the location of my assigned cauldron.
Good.
I heard you and Beta had a talk.
News travels fast.
It wasn't exactly a quiet conversation.
There were just things that needed to be said.
A healthy crop to those who clear the weeds between them, as the Utaru say.
You look like you have something on your mind.
We're going to war soon. And war is something I promised myself I'd left behind in the Red Raids. But the more of your data I go through, every voice I hear, every word I read from our ancient past, it makes me realize just how much life was given so that ours could flourish. Fighting for that gift, it's our responsibility. If we fail, it was all for naught.
Absolutely.
Helps to know you're not alone.
For a moment there, you sounded like Varl.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Fighting for our life is our responsibility. So stupid though, because the people trying to end it they're humans too. That's so frustrating.
I should go.
As soon as you intend to leave for Gemini,
You'll hear about it.
Kotallo? How you doing?
Aloy, are you well?
Had a bit of an issue with Beta. It's better now, though.
Ah, I'm not surprised.
Really? Why not?
I once knew a warrior who discovered he had a brother late in life. It was deeply uncomfortable for him.
Did he ever get over it?
In time. But not before the two siblings nearly killed each other in a single combat challenge.
Ah. Well, at least I avoided that.
Well, it wouldn't be fair. We'd probably crush her.
Think you're ready to put all your training to the test?
I am Tenakth. I am always ready.
You nervous about the mission ahead?
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best.
All these people rallying to help us.
I bet people are curious about that new arm of yours.
None more than our Quen ally, I assure you. She couldn't wait to take it apart and figure out how it works. I gave her the data I used to build the thing, hoping that would satisfy her curiosity instead.
Good luck with that.
For now. For now.
I should go get ready.
I await your orders.
Alright, Alva, what you got for me?
I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just studying the pulse generator schematics. The ones Gaia and Beta built. The craftsmanship is remarkable. Is everything all right? It sounded like there was an issue with Beta and the mission.
Not anymore. We just needed to talk some things through.
To understand one another is to embrace truth. Oh, and if you have a moment, there's something I could use your help with.
Of course, of course. I'm just thinking about whether Aloy even had an argument with someone like that before. Usually, with outsiders, random people, she's fairly patient. And not like, she doesn't really raise her voice. But there we were going all out.
Any more data catch your eye?
All of it? I have so much to study up on. Years, actually. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey. We knew the ancestors had made it to the moon. In fact, we theorized some of them had settled on it. But Sirius is way farther than that. And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the feat of a lifetime. The sheer calculations needed for space travel, it's overwhelming to think about.
It is.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night.
I hope you can all spread the knowledge when things calm down.
Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
A little bit, but I did hear her singing with Varl not too long ago. I don't think they noticed. Zoe seemed so free when she did it. Like every emotion she had was taking flight in song. And she looked happier because of it. I felt so dull and nervous in comparison.
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime. About Utaru music.
Maybe.
That's one thing you can't learn from focuses, Alva. You can learn about the old world and all that, but Tanath, Utaru, Nora, Karja, no information in your focus. Isn't that even more exciting? Knowledge you gotta go out and get in the field.
If you need anything before heading out to the cauldrons,
You have nothing to worry about. Gaia's explained your plan in detail, as expected from such an efficient AI. I've even received some very, succinct combat advice from Kotallo. You know, in case the Zeniths show up.
what kind of advice?
He, told me to run.
For now. We'll even the odds soon enough.
It's true though, especially you. You're like the knowledge person. We need you alive.
Must be strange to think that some of the ancestors your tribe reveres are still alive. And here on Earth, right now.
Yeah, it is. Part of me's curious to know who else besides Eric Visser might be among them. Maybe Nikita Erend? We call her the Spark. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Sung Jiao, whom we call the Healer. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the reality that you experienced. Perhaps it is better not to know.
Let's not dwell too much on people of the past.
You mentioned there was something you needed help with?
Yes. So as I was sifting through data from the greenhouse, I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it decades ago. A sprawling network of river gates and a labyrinth of underground tunnels. The legacy revealed that the old ones used it to control flooding. But we've never gotten it to work. The whole thing is shut down. But the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where Leviathan was created. It's in San Francisco.
Another Pharaoh facility?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen Sasaki, another ancestor. So the legacy tells us, anyway. If we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix the system back in the Great Delta. Every year, my sister gets terrified when the long rains begin. With Leviathan, maybe she won't have to be.
Okay. So, where in San Francisco is this facility?
That's the thing. The data doesn't say where, exactly. But one of our diviners has been exploring the ruins. He might know. Would you come with me? I have a feeling that wherever this facility is, well, you're much better at fighting machines than I am.
Of course. I'll let you know when I'm in landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
Okay, sure.
I should go. Make sure you talk to Gaia if you have any questions about the pulse generators.
May your path lead to truth.
And, like I said, I'll let you know when I'm in landfall. We'll find the data you're after.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I was in landfall for a little bit already. But we'll leave that for now. I'm sure we'll have time to do it later on as well. Just to see. You're really far away. Yeah, just go to Legacy's landfall. That's all it says. Alright.